Before the Duke, before there were singing cowboys, before there were movie stars, or even movies, the transformation of the American West from reality to myth already was underway. By 1860, the American imagination was being stirred by stylized stories of Western adventures as told in thousands of dime novels. More than 1,700 were written about one Western hero alone, William F. Cody, otherwise known as Buffalo Bill. Starting in 1883, Cody spent 30 years touring America and Europe with his spectacle Buffalo Bill's Wild West. Using real cowboys, real Indians, and flashy Western riding and roping, Cody's mix of reality and legend shaped a generation's perception of the West.
It was this perception of the West that made its way to popular culture and further demoralized and degraded the general population's perception of Native Americans. One can easily see how Indians were portrayed in these dime novels as savages that were better off dead than alive, but not many realize how detrimental these works of fiction were to attitudes toward Indians for decades to come.
And everything you've known was wrong. What if we'd all been convinced there was still room for the lost?
These novels about the Old West would not be the last of their kind, as a new 20th century dime novelist emerged, bringing old Native American stereotypes to a new generation.
And if no one had answers, love had
That man was Louis L'Amour.
Louis L'Amour is called America's best-selling frontier storyteller. There's no doubt that he is one of America's most prolific writers. 84 novels about the West, hundreds of short stories, all in a writing career that has spanned 30 years. You would think after all that, Louis L'Amour has exhausted all the stories he could possibly write about the Old West. But he smiles and shakes his head no.
There's just so much material. There's an enormous background of material in this country, and it hasn't even been scratched. Mm-hmm. I've touched on things that nobody else has written about, and in some respects, and I've approached them, of course, all in a different respect, but there's much that's never been tapped at all.
Native Americans were portrayed as, in one of his phrases, the greatest light infantry in the world. And then in others, he would describe them as being very good fighters, but very relentless, but really not too many good things to say about them.
Several of Louis L'Amour's novels were made into TV shows and movies starring such actors as John Wayne, Sean Connery, Geraldine Page, and Brigitte Bardot. This trailer for one of his movie adaptations reinforces the idea of the barbaric savage. In this next clip, notice how the tone of the music changes dramatically when Indians are introduced.
The test of strength, where a hand that held a knife held the fate of a frontier. The treacherous ambush by the renegade.
Notice how much fear the presence of Indians invokes, displaying preconceived stereotypes rather than finding out their intentions first.
Hello. Who are they, Mama? They're Indians.
One of my employees was a Native American from here in up where VA House is right now. And he hated Larry Lamore because of the movie Searchers. The girl who was captured, Natalie Wood, was supposed to kill herself, or John Wayne killed him because she had been molested by an Indian. So I never saw that. I never heard that until he told me. But then when I read the book, yeah, it's exactly, in the movie, it's exactly what it said. So he had some good things to say and he had some bad things. So, but he was telling a story from the American viewpoint, where the Indians killed Americans, then they committed a massacre. If we did it, we were just defending ourselves, which was actually not true.
Lamore considers himself a historian of sorts. Any descriptions of daily life, any locations, any events in his novels have all been researched and accurately portrayed as they existed during the frontier days. Lamore believes that being true to what he's writing about is important.
It's not right to pervert history. If you want to do a story and make it up out of whole cloth, fine, that's your privilege. But nobody has the right to alter history.
His stories may have been truthful in the respect that the locations existed and the people actually lived, but is it really fair and truthful to always give Native Americans a negative connotation? Where is Lamore's frontier story giving an Indian the lead role and the opportunity to tell their own story of the Old West? How could someone call the barbaric and savage portrayal of Indians in this clip accurate?
A lot of enemies, I'd say, with the American Indians.
By ignoring the Indian and what we have to say, you are dooming your own country. Because there is a saying, a nation that does not know its history has no future.